Hi everyone, I'm Kimberley Fu, and the material I studied is fur. And in this presentation, I shall touch upon a few areas about this topic, and also try to answer some simple basic questions concerning this matter as well. What is fur? Fur and hair is basically the same thing. People just label it differently. Hairs are primarily made of fibrous protein called keratin. And the different appearance of fur between different living creatures are determined by genes. Double coats. Many mammals have developed a double coat to help insulate them from the cold of their habitats. What they are is when their fur contains a longer, coarser hair called the top coat, can also be referred to as the guard hairs, along with the shorter hairs, referred to as the undercoat. These softer undercoat hairs are here to help trap heat more for the living creature. Also, many animals tend to shed their coats during the change of seasons. When summer arrives, many mammals tend to shed their undercoats to face summer. Usually they lose a lot more of their bottom coats since they do not need to trap as much heat anymore. Also, for anybody who is drawing fur, may notice that animals tend to look much more thicker and bulkier during winter because of their extra undercoat. And during summer, they tend to look much more different due to their excessive loss of fur. So be sure not to mix up any animal references with winter animals versus a summer background, or vice versa. Alright. Next, I'll be trying to answer, why do polar bears' fur appear white? People may know that polar bears' hairs are not actually pigmented white. They actually have no colored pigments in their fur. But they're not 100% clear and transparent like glass either. They are actually tinted white, like our fingernails. They're made of the material called keratin, which is present in all mammal hair structures and nails. And because of all the fur layering each other, they do appear white in the end. Did you know that the gray and white hairs on a human being can also be considered transparent and pigmentless like polar bears? One interesting story was that around the late 1970s, people were discovering polar bears in zoos were turning green. And the reason was not caused by paint, and the green colorization looked too uniform to be moss growing on top of their coats. Scientists then discovered that polar bears' longer topcoat hair, their guard hairs, are actually naturally hollowed. And they also discovered that algae was seeping into their hairs. Therefore, the green was growing inside their hairs, causing such a uniform look. Algae was thriving in the polar bear swimming pools. So eventually they resolved this problem by putting saline solution in the zoo's pools to kill all the algae. Also, mammals do not produce green-colored pigments on their fur. The green pigment does not exist in the genes of mammals. People have seen sloths with green fur before. This is the result of moss growing on top of the sloth's fur and in between their hairs. This is not caused by their naturally grown hair. Sloth's naturally grown hair is brownish. And that's it for my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. And thank you for listening to my topic about fur.